Talk about now a little bit more about the cost of goods sold. If you remember, that was the first expense that we usually see in the income statement. Sometimes they call it also the cost of sales, another name, but basically has exactly the same meaning. And I remind you that the cost of goods sold refers to the cost of the items that the business has sold during a specific time period. So remember, the cost of goods sold refers only to durable goods, not to services. A very popular way to calculate the cost of goods sold is based on this formula that you see here. So what you need to know is to know the value of the opening inventory at the beginning of the periods. Here I have included foods and beverages, which is a very easy and clear example to understand the cost of goods sold. So that meaning, let's say this includes the value of the opening inventory on January 1 of 2013 plus purchases during the period, meaning let's say from January 1 through December 31 of the same period, minus the closing inventory of foods and beverages at the end of the period, let's say December 31, 2013. So all of these, of course, values, you need to have a good record keeping system in order to put the appropriate values here. To put the value of the opening inventory, the value of purchases during the period, and minus the closing inventory. So this will give us the cost of goods sold of, let's say, the foods and beverages during the entire year of 2013. Just one note. Remember now, let's say here we have the closing inventory. Let's say we have 1,000 euros of foods and beverages. How do I find this? I conduct inventory. I go and count, and I find the receipts, my invoices, and I see what is the value, how much I bought them. And I have here, let's say 1,000 euros. Now, the closing inventory of, let's say, December 31, 2013 will become the opening of the next period. So the closing of 2013 becomes the opening of 2014. And also here, the opening of 2013 was the closing of the previous period, 2012. Okay, so let's see here an example to apply the formula. So we have a restaurant's opening inventory based on its invoices at the beginning of the period, January 1, $8,950. And then looking at your books, you find that purchases during the entire year amounted to $295,350. And also, you conduct inventory at the end of the period, and you see that the cost of the closing or remaining foods and beverages is at the amount of $12,530. Okay, let's see how we can apply this information on the formula that we saw before. So we take the opening, the value of the opening inventory of foods and beverages, plus the value of the purchases, minus the value of the closing inventory, and this gives us the cost of goods sold for foods and beverages for the entire year of 2013. So this is how we calculate a major operating expense that relates to durable goods. Thank you very much.